In the heart of every Nigerian home, there's a word that echoes through laundry days, market stalls, and family conversations, and that word is OMO. But OMO is more than just a detergent. It's a symbol, a memory, a name that became a language of its own. Our story begins far from the bustling streets of Lagos or the sunlit courtyards of Kano. It starts in the United Kingdom in the year 1908. That's when the name OMO was first registered. Some say it stood for Old Mother Hole. A curious name perhaps, but one that carried a sense of wisdom and care. Whether that acronym was official or folklore, it stuck and it traveled. OMO was born into a world that was changing. The industrial age had brought new inventions and cleanliness was becoming a modern virtue. Soap was no longer just a bar. It was becoming a powder, a liquid, a science, and OMO was at the forefront. But it wasn't until 1960 that OMO truly found its voice in Nigeria. You see, that year, Lever Brothers, now part of Unilever, introduced OMO detergents to the Nigerian market. It was more than a product launch. It was a cultural moment. OMO arrived with a promise to make washing easier. The white and blue packaging, the bold letters, the scent, it all felt new. And Nigerians embraced it. By 1964, the demand was so strong that Lever Brothers built a factory here in Nigeria to produce OMO locally. It wasn't just about selling detergents anymore. It was about building trust, creating jobs, and becoming part of the Nigerian story. And then something remarkable happened. Nigerians didn't just buy OMO, they adopted it. They made it their own. Soon, people began calling every other powdered detergent OMO, no matter the brand. Whether it was Ariel, Clean, or any other newcomer, the name OMO stuck. It became the default word for detergent, like Kleenex for tissues or Google for search. This wasn't just marketing success. It was linguistic transformation. OMO had become a household name in the deepest sense. It wasn't just in homes. It was in language, in culture, in identity. As the 1960s unfolded, Nigeria was stepping into a new era. Independence had arrived, and with it came a wave of optimism, growth, and change. Cities were expanding, families were growing, and the rhythm of daily life was shifting. So in the middle of this transformation, OMO was quietly becoming a part of the Nigerian household. It wasn't just a detergent, it was a helper, a trusted companion in the fight against dirt and stains. Mothers used it, fathers knew it, children recognized the packet sitting by the washing basin. OMO's early success wasn't just about the product itself. It was about how it made people feel. Clean clothes meant dignity, fresh laundry meant pride, and OMO delivered that day by day. The advertisements helped too. Radio jingles, posters in markets, and later television commercials all painted OMO as the detergent of choice. The message was clear. OMO washes cleaner, and Nigerians believed it. So by the 1970s and 1980s, OMO had become more than a brand. It was a tradition, a name passed down from one generation to the next. Even as other detergents entered the market, OMO held its ground. It had earned its place, not just on the shelves, but in the heart of millions. And then came the language shift. People didn't say buy detergent, They said, buy OMO. Even if they were buying a different brand, the name had become the category. You know, that's very rare. It is called genericide in branding, when a brand name becomes so common that it replaces the actual word. But in Nigeria, it wasn't a loss, it was a victory. OMO had become a cultural icon. Ask any Nigerian born in the 1960s, 70s or 80s and they will tell you stories of OMO, of washing clothes with their mothers, of the smell of fresh laundry drying in the sun, of the blue and white packets that never seemed to run out of fashion. You know, OMO wasn't just about cleaning. It was about connection, about family, about routine. Even today in markets across Nigeria, you hear traders say, OMO Day. When asking for detergent, it doesn't matter what brand is on the shelf, the name lives on till tomorrow. And that's the magic of OMO. It's not just a product, it's a memory, a habit, a word that carries decades of trust. As Nigeria grew, so did the power of media. Radio was king and television was rising fast, and OMO knew exactly how to speak to the people. You know, a very good management at that, as at the time. OMO's ads weren't just commercials, they were stories of hardworking mothers, playful children, and the everyday messes that life brings. This message was simple. No matter how dirty the clothes, OMO could handle it, most definitely. So one of the most iconic slogans was OMO washes cleaner. It was short, confident, and unforgettable. People repeated it in conversations, in jokes, even in songs. It became part of the national vocabulary. And the visuals, they were relatable. A child playing football in the mud, the mother smiling as she scrubbed, a basin full of suds. These weren't actors, they were reflections of real life. OMO didn't just sell detergent. It sold pride. It sold care. It sold the idea that every Nigerian deserved clean clothes and a fresh start. Time passed. New brands entered the market. Area, clay, soil, sunlight. Each one brought its own promise, its own packaging, its own scent. But OMO remained. Even when people bought other detergents, they still called them OMO. It was no longer just a brand, it was a habit of speech, a cultural shorthand. Children grew up hearing their parents say, go and bring the OMO, even if the packet said something else. Market women shouted, OMO for sale, even if their shelves were filled with other names. This weren't confusion, it was loyalty, it was legacy. OMO had become a symbol of trust, and trust once earned is hard to replace. You know, in the 2000s, OMO evolved. It embraced a new philosophy. And what is this philosophy? The philosophy says, dirt is good. I did not mean D-E-A-T-H, not that dirt, I mean dirt. D-I-R-T. Dirt is good. At first, it sounded strange. Dirt is good. But the message was deeper. It was about childhood, about learning through play, about letting kids explore the world without fear of stains. OMO encouraged parents to let children get messy, to climb trees, play football, splash in puddles, because every stain told a story, and every story was worth living. OMO promised to clean the clothes, but more importantly, it promised to support the journey. This campaign wasn't just about detergent, it was about parenting, about growth, about freedom, and Nigerians embraced it. Schools partnered with OMO for hygiene education. Communities joined in cleanup drives. The brand wasn't just in homes, it was in people's hearts, people's mind. In Nigeria, OMO is more than a soap. It's a symbol of resilience, of everyday strength. of the quiet dignity found in clean clothes and hard work. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the quiet village of Enugu, OMO has touched nearly every corner of the country. It's in the hands of market women, students, mechanics, and mothers. It's part of the rhythm. It's part of the rhythm of life. And it's not just about washing. It's about what washing represents. And it represents care, order, respect. Clean clothes are a sign of self-worth, and OMO has helped millions maintain that worth, even in tough times. During economic downturns, when families had to stretch every naira, OMO remained a trusted choice. It was affordable, reliable, and familiar. It didn't just clean, it comforted. OMO became part of the Nigerian identity, a quiet companion in the background of daily life. Always there, always dependable. Think of a grandmother teaching her granddaughter how to wash with OMO, or a father showing his son how to scrub a school uniform. These are moments of connection, of tradition, of parenting, of good parenting, I mean. OMO has passed through generations from the 1960s to today. It has remained a constant, a thread that ties families together. Even as technology changes and washing machines become more common, the name OMO still holds power. It's spoken with familiarity, with affection, and that's rare, very rare. Brands come and go, but OMO stays because it earned its place. Not through flashy ads or clever slogans, but through consistency, through presence, through trust. Today, the detergent market in Nigeria is more competitive than ever. New brands arrive with bold packaging and promises of innovation. Liquid soaps, capsules, and eco-friendly options are gaining ground, but OMO continues to evolve. Unilever has explained the OMO line to include different variants. OMO Fast Action, OMO Auto for washing machines, and even OMO Gentle for sensitive skin. The brand listens. It adapts. OMO is no longer just a powder in a packet. It's a full range of solutions for modern homes, and yet the name remains the same. The trust remains the same. The legacy remains untouched. OMO doesn't just compete, it leads. OMO's story is not just about soap. It's about Nigeria. About how a foreign brand became a local treasure and how a name became a language. From its humble beginnings in the UK to its deep roots in Nigerian soil, OMO has traveled far. It has seen decades of change, challenge, and growth. And through it all, it has remained a part of the Nigerian story. OMO is more than the detergent. OMO is more than just detergents. It's a legacy. A name spoken in homes, a word written in shopping lists, a memory passed from parents to child. And even today, when someone says go and buy OMO, they are not just asking for soap. They are asking for something familiar, something trusted, something that feels like home. You know what I mean? OMO may have started as a brand, but in Nigeria, it became a tradition, a habit, a name that carries meaning far beyond its letters. And that's the power of connection, the power of trust, the power of a name. OMO washing cleaner, living deeper, and forever part of the Nigerian story. From a name born in the UK to a legacy built in Nigeria, OMO has done more than just clean clothes. It has cleaned hearts, shaped habits, and woven itself into the fabric of everyday life. Generations have trusted it, cultures have embraced it, and today it remains more than a brand. It's a story still unfolding. Thanks for joining us on this journey through time, memory, and meaning. If you enjoyed this clip, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that celebrate the icons of everyday life. Until next time, stay fresh, stay proud, and remember, in Nigeria, OMO isn't just detergent, it's tradition. See you in the next video.